As I said a few days ago, now it is official. The governors of Enugu and Bayelsa State have left the People's Democratic Party for the All Progressive Congress. And the person who would have gone before them, Governor Agbu Kefas, is still in the PDP for some reasons, even though in Jalingo, the capital of Taraba State, the streets are done with his billboards, which carry his pictures, that of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on APC flags. So what is happening? Does it mean the PDP has finally come to an end? My name is Rimamnde Shawulu. This is the other side. The decamping of the two governors from the south, namely Governor Diri Douye of the PDP in Bayelsa State to the APC, means that today, apart from Governor Sim Fubara, there is no governor carrying the flag of the PDP in the South. All the governors of the South officially belong to the All Progressive Congress. Of course, this is a feat simply because the APC, which managed to win elections in Cross River State and Edo State, now has the fortune of carrying all the other 4 states where it did not win elections. So officially, all the governors of the South belong to the All Progressive Congress.
Sign my membership of the People's Democratic Party. And I'm not going to resign alone. And as you can see, I'm here with Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and all the members of our party who are going to go with me. There are some who are not here because they are on official assignments. And so today, I have formally resigned my membership of the People's Democratic Party for very obvious reasons. I'm grateful to all my friends and supporters who have stood by us and with us. And I want to thank all of you again and again. And together, we will continue to build a strong and virile Bayelsa State and a strong and virile country by extension. Once again, I appreciate you. I thank you all. And may God bless Bayelsa State. Thank you.
And in the East, too, Governor Peter Mbah, as seen from the beginning, has also left for the All Progressive Congress.
This move is bigger than politics. It is about alignment at scale. It is about connecting Enugu's destiny with the central hub of broader reforms shaping our nation. Thank you. Of course, this does raise some questions. Will the voice of Tinubu be heard now in Abuja? Yes. How will the change affect our progress at home? How will your lives be touched by this decision? Let me be clear. I will represent our state and our region with the same strength of purpose as I've always done. Our Igbo DNA does not change. What changes is that our vision now finds stronger reinforcement at the federal level.
The fact that the PDP has created problems for them and created a situation where, according to them, they are not respected. And so they have left the PDP. Well, we'll come back to that. Governor Agbu Kefas, on the other hand, has decided to go into the APC. Of course, he contested against the APC candidate, Senator Emmanuel Bocha, in 2023 and won the elections against Emmanuel Bocha, who came third, and Professor Sani Yaya, who came second. Professor Sani Yaya of the New Nigeria People's Party, NPP, party that is headed by Senator Engineer Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, who is also said to be on his way either to the PDP to join the team that will be working for President Goodluck Jonathan, or end up in the APC, where he will also have a fight with people in the APC who obviously do not want him or want him to come in only if he's not going to come in with his political clout. And so we have a situation today that people will be wondering why he is defecting into the APC when he is not standing election a second time. Well, some people may say that it is because he does not want President Goodluck Jonathan, who has come out to run for elections to win the election. So this might be trying to discourage Jonathan from contesting and telling the public that he is not with President Goodluck Jonathan. Well, that would be one interpretation. The second interpretation, which people have also touted, is that Governor Diri is being hamstrung by his godfather, the former governor who made it possible for him to win the ticket and become governor in the first place, and that the situation is so bad that he's not in control of things. And of course, we've had people, including the governor of Enugu State, complain about the PDP National Secretariat. Now, what really is the matter? Of course, we give a dog a bad name in order to kill it, in order to get rid of it. And so PDP, for these people who are defecting now, for various reasons, will have to be given a bad name for them to justify their leaving the PDP. As my friend Adams Jagaba once told me, an excuse only satisfies the person who is making it. It may not satisfy the listeners, it may not satisfy those who are reasoning, it may not satisfy those who are dispassionately looking at the issue. Many Nigerians are worried that, in the first place, these decampings will weaken democracy to the extent that it will generate a one-party system that is not good for the development of Nigeria and has never been good for any country that has practiced it. There are people who will say, oh, China is operating a one-party system, and it is doing well. True, China operates a one-party system and it is presumably doing very well. And that is because there are some processes that happen in China that are not happening in Nigeria. One of which, in one of my videos, I pointed out, many of the governors today who are routing for us to have a one-party system, including former national chairman of the APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, who touted the idea of a one-party system, will either be executed or be in jail, because many of them, or most of them, cannot account for the difference between their lives today and their lives before they got into office. They cannot account for the monies that they have, assuming that you can argue and that there is no evidence that they have stolen anything. But you cannot really justify the money that they have now. So if we are to bring the Chinese one-party system into Nigeria, I did say before, many of these people will become the primary victims of the Chinese system. But in any case, the Chinese one-party system is just a one-off system that today still stands, perhaps for some people, as an industrial success. Majority of the one-party systems have collapsed. Majority of the systems where you have long-term leaders did not last long. The areas and the systems that have persisted and lasted longer are the systems where there's plurality of views, where there's some semblance of people are being allowed to operate in a multi-party system because of the nature of society, which is multicultural. And secondly, I want to also point out that some of the reasons which some of the governors have given for leaving the PDP are very funny. I was a member of the People's Democratic Party, and at the National Assembly in 2018-2019, the National Assembly caucus of the PDP made me a member of a committee to help members of the National Assembly get tickets to run for elections. And now the problem we had was that the governors have been so powerful, and the governors are so powerful in the PDP that they determine virtually everything that happens in the PDP. And so when the governor today tells you that he is powerless, that the National Secretariat is not doing things the way he wants, what you can actually say without any fear of contradiction is that such a governor may actually be lying, finding an excuse to justify the actions that they want to take. Like I did say, during that period, 2018 to 2019, we sought to get members of the PDP who had performed very well in the National Assembly to come back, because members of the National Assembly at that time, under the leadership of Honorable Leo, the minority leader, and Honorable Chukwu Onyema, stood very firmly to oppose the APC, to the extent that all attempts to remove the principal officers of the House were resisted. The members stood, contributed money at each time, including renting a secretariat to host the national secretariat of the party, when some governors connived to bring Modu into the party and created crisis. The former governor of Kaduna State, Senator McCarthy, actually stayed or used the office that was rented by members of the National Assembly to run the PDP until the crisis was resolved and he had to go back to Wadata House. Now, when the members of the PDP who had fought the APC in the media and created a condition where it was very possible for PDP to have reclaimed the seat in 2019, the party national secretariat refused to allow majority of the party members who fought for the PDP to get tickets to come back to the House. The National Secretariat told members who were asking for assistance to help them retain their seats that they should go back and beg their governors to give them tickets. The National Secretariat had ceded that power that they had to the governors. And the governors were the ones that were determined then who will become a councillor or chairman of local government, who will become a member of the House of Assembly, who will come to the National Assembly as a senator or as a member of House of Representatives. And indeed, even during the convention that selected the presidential candidates, the governors were virtually dictating who will be voted for, to the extent that some governors shamelessly collected money from all the major contenders. In the case of the convention in Port Harcourt, I know of governors who collected or pledged support to the major contenders, Senator Aminu Waziri Tambua, Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and then came to where the delegates were sitting and split the delegates into groups to vote for the two candidates. So how can governors who wield so much power today come to say that they don't have power and the National Secretariat is creating problems for them? Indeed, even the problems that the National Secretariat has is not a creation of the National Secretariat. It has been a creation of the governors and the factionalization within the ranks of the governors pitting tents against each other, governors pledging to support the PDP or work against the PDP. And indeed, one of the governors who the campaign had called his people and told them that he has to go because the results of the next election will be written in Abuja. He didn't want a situation where he will remain in PDP and the results of the elections will be written against him and he will lose the election. So he is going to the APC because he wants to secure his seat. Well, that is also a question that we have to really interrogate. Will Abuja in the coming elections sit down and write the election results? Will it be possible for us to reverse all the gains that have been made from 1999 to date? If indeed the election results are written in Abuja, people would be asking about the difference that exists between a military government and a civilian government. And it is important, therefore, that the electoral reforms that started long ago will continue to be implemented so that our electoral system will not generate problems for democracy. This is the other side. My name is Rimamnde Shawulu. I want to ask you whether you have read my book, The Middle Belt, the selected readings that will give you an understanding of the area they call Middle Belt, which has become a major lexicon in Nigerian politics today. I want you to get a copy of the book from Amazon. Or if you don't have money to buy it from Amazon or any of the bookshops in Nigeria, the book copies are in some bookshops in Kaduna and in Jos. You can simply go to Amazon and look for a copy and read the book. Read free. because Amazon allows you to read the book free. Please do not forget to like and share our video.